Have you ever heard that old saying, sell in May and go away? It's a stock market thing to basically cash out in the summer and you come back in the fall. And I think a lot of gardeners do the exact same thing who live in Florida, even without realizing it. So your spring garden is done in Florida. It's getting hot. It's hot right now outside. School is winding down for our kids, and people, you kind of check out once the summer hits. But I've learned that in May is actually the time when you should be paying the most attention, but not just to planting, but I'm talking about overall all your system. Welcome back to GrowFit Florida. I'm Jermaine, and I grow food right here in beautiful West Central Florida, Zone 10A. In today's video, I want to talk about something a little bit different. I want to talk about personally what I do in May. And it's not just everything that I'm doing in the garden in May, but it's some things that I'm doing outside the garden that's overall giving me a better balance in my life. And I'm able to pour more into the garden. I'm able to pour more into my family. I'm able to pour more into myself. And I want to talk about it today. And I think that this is going to help somebody out there. So stay tuned and let's get into this conversation. We're in the end of April now, and it is already hot and humid out. I'm taking shade under the grapevine. And if you've been following my channel or my wife's channel, we've been telling you what to get in the ground. We've been giving you some ideas of what you can plant and getting your summer gardens ready, because we're not stopping growing food just because it's about to get extremely hot outside. There are plenty of tropical things that we can plant in the ground that loves this heat, and I've shared so many. I'm going to give you some more in other videos in May, what you can put in the ground, but pretty much everything that you're going to plant in May, you could put in the ground right now. And we have done if you've been following the channel. So if you're just like me and you have your summer garden already in, you have the majority of things that you're riding with the summer already planted, this is where I found throughout the years that a lot of people start to get careless with their yard. They kind of step away because they're not putting anything new in their yard because they already have it planted, and the heat comes and they weren't expecting that much heat. So they walk away from it and they just allow things to become overgrown. They allow things to bolt, and heat is a natural deterrent for many of us out in our yards. It's hot. The advice that I would give you that I'm following myself is, before this month ends, walk every inch of your yard where you have crops planted and just look, see how they're growing. Look at your watering systems. Are you hand watering everything? If so, you might want to switch to some type of drip irrigation. Are your plants in somewhere where it's getting too much sun? If so, you might want to find some way to provide some type of shade for it, because we're about to get more heat. Do you have certain things plant so close together that humidity's coming and it might breed some type of fungus where you might have to separate some things? Right now is a good time just to walk your entire yard and just take survey of what you have growing. And the major thing is that heading into these warmer months is water. Yeah, rainy season is coming and we're going to get rain. Hopefully, we've been in a drought for most of Florida right now. We've actually been in a serious drought. So look at your watering systems, set up your drip irrigation, go get your hoses, connect them, make them longer. If they're not able to reach to a certain part of your yard, just get your watering and systems in place. That's going to save you a lot of headache. It's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of energy, and it's going to keep you from coming outside sweating because you got the hose. You got a full-blown garden or food forest, and you have your hose and you're going around hitting everything. And I know, trust me, we know, because we've been doing that for years. One hose going around watering everything, and it takes all day. You could start at 5 o'clock and you're done at 8 o'clock, giving all your plants enough water. So we get it. We moved to drip irrigation for the majority of our backyard. And I'm suggesting that you look into some type of watering system as well. Maybe I'll make a video or two of how we set up our drip irrigation. It ain't perfect, but it works. It's effective. And we're growing a lot of food because we're giving our plants, especially in the summertime, enough water from what we've done in cooler months. Because you don't want to set that drip irrigation up when it's 100 degrees outside. Don't wait till June to go outside and set up your drip irrigation. Do it now while we're still in the upper 80s and low 90s before it start to. So water, fertilizing. When did you last actually feed your plants? Most people fertilize in the spring when they're planting, when they're putting things in the ground. They completely forget about it until something starts looking like just yellow or just looking a mess. So set a reminder on your phone every 4 to 6 weeks for your heavy feeders. Do it now. Just get your fertilizing schedule. And fertilizing doesn't mean you have to go out and get all these different fertilizers from the stores. Fertilizing can mean you're just growing things like your Mexican sunflower or your moringa. You're growing different things where you can chop and drop and feed them. So many different ways where you can use natural things that you're growing in your backyard to feed your plants. So just have a schedule for it. Just know that your plants, they need that. Next is pests, actually going around and checking for all the bugs that's on your plant and that's in your food forest. Now, summertime, unfortunately, it brings a lot of different type of pests in our garden. That's just living in Florida. That's just anywhere in the summertime. It could become a problem if you let it. If you're walking around your backyard and you're actually taking survey of things that's going on and you're flipping leaves and you're actually looking, you could save yourself so much time because you can catch those infestations when they're so small, when it's before you lose a whole crop or before you lose your whole garden. And it's simple. Just walk your yard, flip leaves, and be attentive to your actual space, to the things you're actually growing. It's not just a set and forget type of thing when the summertime hits, because we do have to go out there and we do have to monitor for these pests. And it can be as simple as you might have a few pests where you can come outside and get some neem oil and you're able to spray that and you can stop it all, or just take your hose and wash off a lot of the things. Just be attentive for pests. This is a part that I don't like to do either because we have so much growing and you go around and you think everything's fine and you flip a leaf and you're like, oh my, or you're moving the soil, you're like, oh, what are you doing here? Or you never know. And pests could also mean things like you have moles and different type of critters in your backyard you don't know about. You can even have cats in your backyard that's coming every single night and you don't even know that they're coming in your backyard. And you're looking up, why is everything ripped up? You got to get out there and you got to look, because you might have some holes in your fence as you're letting things in at night. You just walk your yard and look, is what I'm saying. Walk your yard and look. Harvesting this one, it sounds obvious, but are you staying on top of it? We've had times where we weren't, and it really can mess up some things in your food forest. You don't let your okra pods get too long because they get woody. It slows the plant down. Beans get tough. Your squash, it turns into like a baseball bat. The plants that are boating and that are pretty much your fall crops and they're like, no more, you got to pull them. You got to take them out. Plants that keep making food, you want to keep in, but you got to harvest regular. Now, weeding, that's another big one. 10 to 15 minutes once a week is better than you're spending a whole day once a month and you just give up your whole day to just having to pull weeds and you're outside. So when you're outside 10 to 15 minutes once a week or twice a week, depending on how big your food forest is, it can go a long way, because once you allow those weeds to really pile up and you do nothing, it just becomes a mess. And now you're going to spend multiple days just pulling weeds, and nobody wants to do that in 95-degree heat. So just stay on top of your weeds the best you can. And if you got kids, hey, listen, if you got kids, tell them to go outside and start pulling those weeds. Make them, if they get allowance, make them earn that allowance. Tell them to go outside. If you got grandkids, call them over, make them go outside and pull those weeds, right? So I want to switch things up a little bit and talk about the personal audit. So every May I do a personal audit. It's nothing big and dramatic. It's just an honest look at what goals did I set in January. Which ones are still alive? Which ones did I set because it sounded good at the time and I haven't did anything about it since February? I cut those with no guilt. I just cut them. Subscriptions, I look at all my subscriptions on my credit card statements. Right now, I find everything that I'm paying for that no longer serves me, that I didn't even, sometimes you look at your subscriptions, what? I didn't cancel this. So May is when I go through and I do that. Because when you cancel some money, when you get those subscriptions gone, you start to find free money. Also, it's social media algorithms. This is a big one. So if you go through your social media and you're scrolling and it's feeding you all these videos, you might have outgrown how you were in January. Or if you didn't reset your algorithm, you might, for years, you might be a different person, but it's constantly feeding you who it thinks you are, and you're just watching. So what I do in May is I go through and I clear out. Most social media platforms allow you to do it, but I cleared my browser where I have nothing on my feed anymore. And now I'm adding to it of who I am right now, if you understand what I'm saying. So make sure if you clear your browser, make sure you go back through and GrowFit Florida and make sure you add me and hit that notification bell so I'm still back and rocking with you. So I hope that I can get back on your browser. But that's what I do. I like to clear it up. So just little things like that in May. It's not all about the garden. You have to take care of yourself. We're almost at the halfway point of this year. Time goes by so fast. So I suggest in May, while we're doing the simple systems and the simple things in the yard, come back to yourself. Personal audit on yourself. Look at those goals. You don't want all your goals just to leave, and come December, you're writing new goals down that if you would have just took some time throughout the month to sit down and audit, you might be like, yeah, I can hit that. I can go back towards that. So it's one of the things I do in May, and I hope that that helped you too. And I hope that it just sparked some ideas for you too. One of my favorite things is to wake up to a message from someone saying that they went out and they got my book, The Florida Perennial Garden, and they read it, and they had fun reading it. That's what I like. They had fun reading it. They learned a lot, and a lot of the messages that I'm getting from the book is they said it feels like I'm watching you, but I'm reading you in my room. And I get that. I totally get that. So if you went out and got a copy of this book, first off, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. I'm serious here. This means a lot to me. I took a lot of time to write the book. I'm sitting where I'm at right now is where I was writing the book. I'm just sitting down with my laptop writing, put the book out for us here in Florida. So thank you if you went out and got it. If you can go back on Amazon or wherever you got the book and just leave a review, I really will appreciate that very much. So thank you for picking it up, and thank you even more for leaving a review. I hope this video helps you. I hope that this book serves you well. And until that next video, God bless.